Also leads the team, as does his .471 on base percentage.
Strike called. 0-1. Lefty versus lefty. Jones pitch. High. A ball and a strike now to Outman. Jones rocks into the windup. A quick worker. The 1-1 pitch. Just misses a little bit low. 2-1. Outman had a notion. Decided to hold up. The 2-1 offering. Inside almost hit him. Backs Outman off the plate. And the count goes to 3-1.
Got the Olympics on up here in the booth. American Cornhole team has just won the silver.
That's terrific. The next pitch is fouled off to the left and out of play. 3-2. Full count now to Outman. 2 down in the Crabs first. Scoreless thus far. The 3-2 pitch. High fly ball in shallow left field in foul territory. Now the third baseman comes over and is not able to make the play. Just into the play area. Ran out of room. Good effort by the third baseman, Dixon. So we'll come back and do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Outman. Cleanup hitter Jason Newman in the on-deck area taking some practice swings with the weighted bat. The 3-2. High fly ball into left field. It's playable, very high. Left fielder Faulkner is under it, and he gathers it in for the third out. So the Crabs go in order in the first, and at the end of 1, we're scoreless. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, KGOE 1480, Arcadia, Rica.
All right, welcome back to the ballpark. Thanks to Harper Motors, proud to be one of America's oldest automobile dealerships. Established in 1912, they're a true family business that's been serving the North Coast for over 100 years. With every Crabs home run, Harper Ford will donate $50 to local District 26 Little League, so go Crabs, go. And if you go down to downtown Eureka, near one of their old storefronts, they have a bunch of old cars parked out there. They have a Model A and I think a Model T out there parked in the storefront with a little sign describing the car. Pretty interesting stuff.
Nice.
They have a nice collection of old cars.
Have you ever been
Ford
to the
Pinto?
Have you ever been to the Ford or to the Fortuna Autorama that's held each year?
I have not, no.
Fantastic old cars there that just blocks and blocks and blocks of really fine vintage automobiles. All right, Jake Faulkner, right-handed, hitting left fielder to lead it off in the second inning for the Wildcats. Right-hander's hers first pitch is a fastball right down the pike, strike 1.
Thurber's fine. Getting the day off today, and Austin White is out for the season with a hamstring injury.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Curveball in for a strike. Here's next pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Going back on it is Cirillo, and he makes the catch just in front of the warning track for the first out. Faulkner skies to center, one gone, and that'll bring up Kyle Dixon.
Dixon did not play in the earlier series.
Right-handed hitting third baseman. Crab infield back all the way around. First pitch is fouled off to the right, strike one. The Wildcats come out swinging. They're aggressive. They're swinging at the first or second pitch that they're offered by her. Not sitting back and waiting, and her's been throwing strikes. The 0-1, and again fouled off to the right, out of play. Her ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Her gets the sign from Outman, rocks into the windup, and the 0-2. Just misses outside. Dixon had a notion but was able to restrain himself successfully, and the count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch bounces at the plate. New ball put in play by home plate umpire Cowan. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Dixon. Here's the 2-2. Misses wide, and the count goes full. Here's 3-2 offering. High pop up into shallow left field. Shortstop going out, left fielder coming in, and it's going to be falling in between them. So Hamilton went out, Thielander came in, but neither one could come up with it. They might have also been fighting the sun, which can still be treacherous this time of the evening. It looked to me like Hamilton had lost it.
Thielander really didn't have a chance at it.
Thielander couldn't get there in time. So it goes as a single. A little bloop single into a shallow left field. That's the second hit of the ball game for the Wildcats. They had a 2-out double in the first inning that was for naught.
Ended up with a double that way this afternoon in Washington. He had a little pop fly in the left field, and ended up being a double. Worth couldn't
Here's
get
Mike
to it.
Phelan, the right-handed hitting catcher. And the pitch to Phelan is high with a fastball, 1-0.
See if the Giants have blown that 5-0 lead yet.
Newman holding Dixon on at first. He has a slight lead. The pitch, fastball away, 2-0.
Wow, the Giants now lead 7-1 in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, that's good. The Dodgers won today, so the Giants will maintain their 2-game edge. Hers 2-0 pitch. High and inside. 3-0. So her, who had been throwing nothing but strikes, now falls behind Phelan, 3-0. Let's see if Phelan's taking here.
0 for 4 in the one game he played in earlier.
Ball 4. 4 consecutive balls from her. Dixon walks down to second base in scoring position, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, left-handed Kyle Yamada.
Yamada was 0 for 4 in one game.
Yamada, slight of build. Again, we don't have the vital statistics, but he can't be more than 5'7" or 8. Slight build. Her, a look back at second, comes to the plate. Yamada takes a fastball in the inside corner for a called strike one. Yamada, the number 8 hitter in the Wildcat order. Her comes to the belt. The 0-1. Fouled off to the left. Yamada late getting around on the her fastball, and now Aaron ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. So her ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Yamada. At the rest. A look back at second. The 2-0. High and outside with a fastball. 1-2. Back foot on the rubber. Her, a long look into Outman. Now he's set. The 1-2 offering. Curveball is hit foul. Off to the left. So we'll do it again, 1-2. Runners take their leads from first and second. Here's 1-2 pitch. High with a fastball, 2-2. Dixon at second, Phelan at first, 1 gone in the Wildcats' second inning. 2-2 to number 2, Kyle Yamada. The 2-2 pitch. Little nubber foul over by the Crabs on deck.
Fouled off a couple of good pitches now.
Making her come in with them. Something wants to make her come in with something he can handle. As you mentioned, a couple of good pitches. He's fought off to get another shot. Her reads Outman. A lot more deliberate in this situation with runners on the pads. And the 2-2. Another pitch fouled off. That pitch was right down the pike, but again, Yamada late getting around on Her's fastball. Runners with modest leads at first and second. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Yamada had a notion, let it go by, and he's arguing to home plate umpire that the pitch was high. Says, hey, I'm a little guy. That was up around my eyes. Yamada down on strikes. That's the second strikeout of the evening for her. Comes in a great spot. And with 2 down, it'll be up to the second baseman, the number 9 hitter in the order, Taylor Garcia.
Garcia was 1 for 4 in the earlier series.
Right-hander versus right-hander. Her, a look back at second, comes to the plate, and the breaking ball is well outside, 1-0. Should Garcia get aboard, we go to the top of the order and Sam Lee Curtis. One and 0 to the right-handed hitting second baseman. Her's next pitch. High with a fastball, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. High again. 3 balls and no strikes. You'll recall a batter ago he walked Phelan on 4 consecutive balls. Now he's behind 3-0 to the number 9 hitter. Set. The 3-0. That's right down the pike. 3-1. Garcia taking a look if he's got the take sign on from his third base coach. Wouldn't think so. This is a hitter's count. The 3-1 pitch from her. Fouled off to the right and out of play. Now, with a full count, 2 outs. The runners will be off with the pitch. That's an advantage to the offense, of course. Her has gone from 3-0 to 3-2. Big pitch early here. And he takes a little bit too long, and the batter Taylor Garcia requests and receives time for a moment. Steps out of the batter's box, gathers his thoughts. He's ready. Her at the belt. Runners go. The payoff pitch is grounded up the middle behind second base. Pozos can't come up with it, but he does prevent it from going into the outfield. Now they got the runner trapped between third and home. The throw back to the third baseman. He's running the runner down. The throw to the catcher gets wild, and the runner's going to score. So a botched rundown leads to a run for the Wildcats. We'll see who the error is on.
It was Hamilton that threw it, I think.
An error on the play. We believe that error is on David Hamilton, the shortstop. So they had a runner picked off. The runner rounded third too far. And an alert play by Pozos, throwing to third, and then they had him in the pickle, and they were very close to tagging him out, but the throw was errant, and he came in to score. Garcia ends up on second base. Phelan makes it to third as Dixon comes in and scores the first run of the ball game. The Wildcats draw first blood, and now Sam Lee Curtis, the leadoff hitter, stands at the plate with two runners in scoring position. And Benjamin mentioned earlier, Sam Lee Curtis had a good early 2 games earlier this season against the Crabs, 4 base knocks and 9 trips. Grounded out the first pitch of the ball game to the shortstop, David Hamilton. From the stretch, Her comes to the plate, and a high pop-up into shallow center field. Hamilton goes out. Center fielder comes in. It's going to be Hamilton on the outfield grass to gather it in for the third out. However, the Wildcats get a run on a hit. There was an error and 2 left, and at the end of an inning and a half, it's the Wildcats 1 and the Crabs nothing. You listen to Crabs Baseball, KGOE 1480, Arcadia, Eureka. All right, welcome back to the ballpark. It'll be the middle of the order for the Crabs, facing the left-hander Tegan Jones, who has been staked to a 1-run lead by his mates, but it was a gift run, a botched pickle. Had the runner between third and home, and an errant throw allowed him to score the first run of the ball game. It'll be Jason Newman, Michael Perry, and Logan Bush in the Crabs' second inning, trailing 1-0.
What are you talking about? You guys know what color?
Here is Newman. Benjamin's counting out some serious money here. I don't want us to get mugged, but Newman comes into the ballgame hitting .309, 4 home runs and 31 runs driven across. That's second on the club in RBIs to James Outman. Right-handed hitter, and the first pitch from Jones is hit in the air to right field. The right fielder comes over a couple of steps and gathers it in for the first out. So Newman flies to right on the first pitch, 1 down, and that'll bring up Michael Perry. right-handed hitting third baseman, leading the Crabs with 7 home runs. Tegan Jones has retired the first 4 Crabs batters. Southpaw rocks into the windup and comes to the plate, and it's taken for a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to Perry. Michael saying that looked a little outside to me, ump. Already some disagreement with the home plate umpire Cowan's calls. There's a breaking ball and a beauty. Freezes him. Strike 2 called. Jones ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Fastball gets by through the catcher's legs to the backstop. It's ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitcher just in a bit of sun. Batter now in shade. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. 1-2 now to Perry. Wind has picked up a little bit now. It's blowing from right to left. Here's the 1-2. Again, fouled off, this time to the right. So we'll do it again. A ball and 2 strikes to Michael Perry. The 1-2 offering. Ground ball to the shortstop. Up with it is Joyce. Throws across the diamond just in time to get the speedy Perry. 2 down. That'll bring up right fielder Logan Bush. Bush comes into tonight's ball game hitting .276. 18 runs driven across for Bush. So we got a lefty versus lefty situation. Southpaw pitcher. Jones rocks into the wind, and the pitch to Bush is taken for a called ball. A little bit high, over the plate but high, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. High fly ball to right field. The right fielder going back toward the warning track. He's got room, and he's got the ball for the 3rd out. Bush flies to his counterpart to end the Crabs' 2nd inning. They're down in order again, and at the end of 2, it's the Wildcats 1 and the Crabs nothing. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, KGOE 1480, Arcadia, Eureka.
Welcome back to the ballpark. thanks to the Lost Coast Brewery. Take a brewery tour at the Lost Coast huge $27 million bottle facility. Your tour guide will guide you through the process of brewing beer, from the grinding of the grain to the fermenting to the bottling. Afterwards, taste the beer and check out the Lost Coast Brewery gear shop, where you'll find T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, bottle opener stickers, and, of course, beer. Kids are welcome. The tour schedule is Friday to Sunday, 12 to 4 p.m. on every hour on the hour at 1600 Sunset in Eureka.
Right-hander Austin Blatnick grounded out second to first in the first. He'll lead it off here in the third. And a curveball taken a bit high, 1-0. Blatnick will be followed by Taylor Field and Ethan Joyce, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Wildcats lineup. The 1-0 pitch over the plate but low, 2-0. Herr has fanned 2. He's walked 1, given up a couple of base hits. The run was unearned. The 2-0, right down the heart of the plate. Fastball for a called strike, 2-1.
Indeed it was. Crabs had him in a rundown.
The 1-0 pitch, way outside in the dirt. 3-1.
As a team now, the Crabs have committed 76 errors in 48 games. That's as opposed to 99 for their opponents.
The 3-1 pitch. In there, fastball taken for a called strike 2. Here's 3-2 delivery. Curveball is punched into shallow right field. It's going to be the first baseman actually catching it on the infield dirt just in front of the grass. A little loop fly ball, 1 down.
With last night's 15-0 victory, the Crabs now have almost 200 runs more than their opponents' totals. 373 to 175 coming into the game.
Wow.
Some of those were, total blowouts.
Like the ones
like last night and the ones in the middle of the week last week.
Here's the pitch to Field, and he grounds it past the Crabs dugout. Strike 1. Field hit a double, but was stranded at second base in the first inning.
It's kind of an interesting year in terms of opponents. Some of our opponents, the Crabs have definitely faced better competition this year than in last year's, but they've also faced some teams, I think, that were a lot weaker than almost all the teams we've seen in the past.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams that maybe won't be invited back. I mean, they're just blowouts. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Field.
Well, I think one thing we have to do is insist that they bring a full complement if they're going to come here.
Yeah.
We should not have teams here with 12 players or.
Breaking ball wide and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Field.
And, I would like to see the Crabs play the crosstown team. It'd be nice to set that up.
B-52 Bombers?
Yeah, I would like to see that. I think that would be really. It was great when we used to have the All-Stars and then the Steelheads.
Oh, you get a big crowd for those games. Here's the 2-2. Grounded at the plate. We had an opportunity to talk with Shorty Ames, the longtime successful manager for the Humboldt Crabs. He was saying one of the thrills he had in baseball was when the Crabs had their 35-game win streak broken by the All-Stars, because they were so delighted. It was the first time they'd ever beaten the Crabs. High pop-up on the right side in foul territory. Newman coming over under it, and Jason puts it away for the second out.
Yeah, I missed the All-Stars. They changed their names to the Steelhead at one point.
Yep.
Which I didn't get that because the argument was, well, they weren't all All-Stars, and my response was, well, they're not all fish either, so. It's not really.
David Sharp, you'll recall, was the
he did a good job with that team.
Was the manager of that team. And David's now the manager at St. Bernard's high school's baseball team. Right-handed hitting.
Isn't he the principal?
Ethan Joyce. He was president for a while, but he really wanted to go back and do teaching and athletics. So, foul ball, back onto the screen, strike 1. No balls and a strike to Joyce. Right-hander versus right-hander. The 0-1 pitch Lined into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. So a 2-out single by Joyce. And that'll bring up Jake Faulkner. Third hit of the ball game for the Wildcats. Faulkner flew out to center to open the second inning. Right-handed batter. Joyce, the cleanup hitter at first base. You would not think he is a threat to steal. And his lead is quite modest at first base, held on over there by Newman. The pitch to Faulkner, a curveball and a good one for a called strike one. 0-1 to Faulkner. Her's pitch. Swing and a miss. Late on a fastball. Her ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes. They're turning the lights on tonight. I guess it's automatic at this time.
I guess Faulkner's not enjoying the light in August.
I don't know that. Oh, swing and a miss.
It's the name of one of his novels.
I figured it was, but I was not a big Faulkner fan. Faulkner down on strikes.
Thank you very much.
That literary reference goes for naught as the Wildcats come up empty in the third inning. They did have a hit. No errors and 1 left, and at the end of 2.5, the score remains the Wildcats 1, the Crabs nothing, William Faulkner 1, and you're listening to Crabs Baseball, KGRE 1480, Arcadia Eureka.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Johnson, Cirillo, and Thielander, the bottom of the order, are batting for the Crabs, trailing 1-0. Here's Hoke to bring us all the action.
Newt Johnson is serving as the designated hitter tonight, right-handed hitter.
Comes in batting .256.
And the pitch to him is a breaking ball that stays up, 1-0. Crabs looking for their first base hit off of Tiegan, T-I-E-G-A-N, Tiegan Jones. Next pitch is taken for a called strike, 1-1.
He's done a good job changing speeds right there. First pitch looked like a change.
Yep.
Second pitch, fastball right over the outside part of the plate.
And mixing them up well. The 1-1. Misses wide with a heater, 2-1. Jones, pretty common name. You know what the most common name in America is? The most common surname?
I thought it was Smith.
It is. My guess was Johnson, but it's Smith. A long drive to left field. That's going to be off the wall, over the wall. No,
it's caught in the wall. It's called in the fence.
Yeah, I didn't think it was over. It's caught in the fence. That'll be a ground rule double for Newt Johnson. Boy, he got all of that one. A line shot. That got stuck in the fence. We haven't seen that before. Now they're going to try and get it out of the fence? Yeah.
Really?
They got another ball out there for the left fielder to try and dislodge the one that's stuck in the fence. And his first it may have gone the other way. I think
see it. No, it's in the fence. You can see it lodged in the fence. Yeah, I can see it.
They're going to live with it.
It's right above that white. You can just see it above the white car in the background.
Oh, yeah, I see it now, right. Okay. All right.
There's no reason to go after it, I guess.
Yeah, there's no big distraction, I guess. So the Crabs with a leadoff double, Newt Johnson.
Have to hit the ball pretty hard to get it to lodge in the fencing
Yeah,
out there.
oh, that was a shot. I mean, that was a shot.
Definitely had the distance.
All right, Johnson on second base, and a couple of Masons coming to the bat. Mason Cirillo and then Mason Thielander. Cirillo, left-handed hitter.
Batting .250. 19 RBIs.
The pitch from Jones. Thielander takes the pitch very high. Cirillo takes the pitch very high, 1-0. So the tying run at second base. Nobody out here in the Crabs' third. Jones comes home. Cirillo takes another pitch high, 2-0. Left-hander versus left-hander. Jones working from the stretch. Shortstop Joyce trying to cause some problems for Newt Johnson at second base. Here's the pitch. Again high, 3-0. So maybe that ringing double having some reverberations here as suddenly Jones finding the plate.
We do see that a lot at this level. Pitchers getting rattled.
Yeah.
After giving up a big hit.
4 consecutive balls. So Cirillo trots to first base. Now the Crabs with runners at first and second. Nobody out, and here's the left fielder, Mason Thielander.
Thielander's average has been steadily climbing for the last couple of weeks. He's up to 265 now.
Thielander taking a look down to Tim Wheeler in the third base coaching area. There's no box marked in, but he's where the box would be. Jones at the set. Thielander shows bunt, takes the fastball away, 1-0. Whether he was doing that to bunt or for effect, waiting till Jones can throw a strike, we do not yet know, but that's the 5th consecutive ball from Tegon Jones. Crab runners take their leads at first and second. The pitch, he is bunting, and it's a good bunt down the third base line, a beauty. Throw from the third baseman. The first baseman pulls the first baseman off the bag, and everybody is safe. That was a beautiful bunt by Mason Thielander.
That was a good job. Right down the line.
And I think we're going to give him a base hit on that, or no?
No, that's an error.
All right, so it's a sacrifice for Thielander, moving the runners up, and then an error on the throw, pulling the first baseman off the bag. So the Crabs now with the bases F, O, C, full of crustaceans for the leadoff hitter, David Hamilton. David Hamilton, the only strikeout victim in the ballgame of Tegon Jones. He struck out to open the contest for the Crabs. The pitch to Hamilton, fastball inside, backs him off the plate, 1-0.
Earlier this season, the Crabs did have a 9-run inning against the Wildcats.
Big threat here. The 1-0 pitch. Hamilton, it's a long drive to right field. It's going to be in the gap, and it's going to go to the wall. 1 run comes in. The second run's coming in. The third run's coming in. Hamilton turning on the afterburners, pulls into third base with a bases-clearing triple. David Hamilton cleared the bases with a shot to the gap in right center field, went all the way to the wall.
And it bounced at the base of the wall, and when it bounced up, it bounced very high up, and that was all he needed to make it into a triple.
Yeah, he turned on the afterburners at second base, and there was no doubt he made it to third base without a throw. So the Crabs have gone ahead by a 3-1 count. There's still nobody out. Hamilton at third base. The infield is playing back. So a ground ball to second or short would score a run. The middle infielders will hold the runner at third if they get the ball. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a strike, 0-1. Pozos grounded out short to first in the first. The 0-1 pitch. Pozos takes a curveball for a called strike 2. Off-speed pitch. And Jones ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes. This would be an opportune time for a strikeout. for the Wildcats. The 0-2 pitch, curveball is grounded to the second baseman, and that'll bring in the run. So Pozos grounds out to his counterpart, second baseman Taylor Garcia, but he gets an RBI as Hamilton comes in to score, and it's now a 4-1 game. That was a situation where had the infield been playing in, they would have been able to hold that runner at third base because it would hit right to the second baseman.
That's right.
But he was playing deep enough, there was no doubt they had no chance of throwing home to try and get Hamilton. Base is now empty. Crabs have plated 4 here in the third inning, and James Outman comes to the bat and takes a curveball for a called strike 1. A double by Johnson to lead off the inning, and then a 3-bagger by Hamilton to clear the bases. The big blows of this inning. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Outman behind now. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and outside. 1-2. Could I get a water? Thank you. 1-2 the count to Outman. The pitch just misses low. 2-2. Two and 2 to Outman. Jones comes to the plate, and it's taken high. 3-2. Jones, payoff pitch to Outman. Lined into center field. No, second baseman has it behind second. The throw to first gets by the first baseman. It's there on the bounce. We'll call that an infield single, I do believe. Yes?
I'll call it an infield single.
Benjamin, the official scorer, has given the word from on high that it is a hit for James Outman.
And you can report
I'll
that the
report
official scorer called it a hit.
I'll report that the official scorer. All right, runner on at first now, 1 out. And here's Jason Newman. Newman flew out to right fielder Blatnick in his only at bat in the ball game. Throw to first base, and back standing is Outman. Crabs have tallied 4 here in the bottom of the third to take a 4-1 lead. The pitch is inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Jason Newman.
We got a right-hander warming now in the Wildcats bullpen.
The 1-0 pitch taken for a called strike. Outside portion of the plate above the belt, and the count even at a ball and a strike to Newman. Now most of the field in shadows. Lights are on at the ballpark, and it's cooling off a bit. Jones at the set. The pitch high with a fastball, 2-1. There is some action in the Wildcats bullpen. Looks like a right-hander out there throwing. Two and 1 to the Crabs cleanup hitter. Instead, a throw to first base. Outman edging off a little further. Jones at the set. The pitch. Ground ball, just foul, fair? I don't know. Oh, it's fair ball. Third baseman throws wild to first, and everybody's going to be safe. So that'll be an error on the third baseman, Dixon. That was a high bouncer that was just fair. hugged the line, but his throw to first base was wild. Outman moves away all the way around to third.
That's his second error of the inning.
Newman goes to second on the air. So 2 errors this inning by Kyle Dixon, and now the Crabs with 2 runners in scoring position. Still only 1 out. And here's Michael Perry. The dangerous Michael Perry, and he takes a breaking ball low, 1-0.
7 home runs, slugging .643. That leads the club.
Perry, the 8th batter to come up here in the Crabs' 3rd inning. A broken bat grounded to the third baseman. He's going to go to first for the out. However, a run scores, so credit Perry with an RBI as Outman comes in to score.
That was actually a tough play for Dixon because that very sharp barrel of the bat was headed right at him. And good job to keep presence in mind to field the ball and make the play.
Bat went as far as the ball. So after a couple of errors, a good play by the third baseman. However, the Crabs do pick up another run. Newman holds at second base, and that'll bring up Logan Bush, the 9th hitter for the Crabs here in the 3rd inning. Crabs have been a team with big innings. Sometimes they'll score 6 or 7 runs an inning and then goose eggs for the duration. 1-0 to Bush. Logan swings and lines it just foul down the first base line into the visitors' bullpen, and the count a ball and a strike to Bush. Bush flew out to his counterpart, Austin Blatnick, to end the 2nd inning. Jason Newman leads from second. The pitch to Bush, waved at and missed, strike 2. Jones ahead on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Jones at the set on the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled at the plate. Off the mask, I believe, of James Outman. He's fine. One and 2 to Logan Bush. Crabs have already plated 5 here in the 3rd inning to take a 5-1 lead. And the 1-2. Grounder weakly down to the second baseman. Has a tough play. Throw to first in time to retire Bush and the Crabs in the 3rd inning. However, the Crabs come up with 5 runs on 3 hits, a couple of errors, and a man left. And at the end of 3 complete, it's the Crabs 5 and the Wildcats 1. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, KGOE 1480, Arcadia, Eureka. Crabgrass band in the background. They have filled in nicely. Full contingent here now. And the Crabs have given Aaron Herr a little cushion. nice 5-run third inning. Aaron looking for his team-leading 7th victory of the season against only 2 setbacks. And he'll face Kyle Dixon, Mike Phelan, and Kyle Yamada. Dixon singled and scored the only run of the ball game for the Wildcats in the second inning. But he made a couple of costly errors in the third. Right-hander versus right-hander. The pitch to Dixon backs him off the plate with a fastball, 1-0. Hers 1-0 pitch. Again, high and inside, 2-0. How many runs last inning were earned of the 5? It's the question we're asking the official scorekeeper.
3.
3 earned runs. Here's the 2-0 to Dixon. That's right down the pike, but low, 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Both walks that Herr has allowed were 4-ball walks. I mean, no strikes in between. All walks have 4 balls, obviously, but 4 consecutive balls. So a leadoff walk for Dixon, and that'll bring up Mike Phelan, who walked himself in that situation in the second inning. Phelan, right-handed hitter. And the pitch to him. That's a strike. Fastball at the knees, 0-1. Herr reads Outman for the sign. The 0-1. Fastball inside, a ball and a strike. 1-1 to Phelan. Herr's pitch. In the dirt, a good block by Outman. No advance, and the count is 2-1. Nice crowd on hand tonight. I think a little larger than last night. Tomorrow, last ball game of the season. Maybe 2. Crabs will be playing at 2, and if they win, they'll play at 6. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High, 3 balls and a strike. So Herr having a little control problem here in the top of the 4th inning. Last thing he wants to do is give some free passes as his mates have staked him to a 4-run lead. Herr at the set. Runner a slight lead at first base. The pitch misses outside, ball 4.
Well, that's not what you want to see after your teammates give you 5-run inning.
Indeed.
Walk the first 2 batters you see.
So he's only thrown 1 strike out of 9 pitches here in the top of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Kyle Yamada. Designated hitter was caught looking, and that's going to bring Eric Ciccone to the mound. Wants to just settle down Aaron Herr, give him a breather for a minute or so. Third baseman Perry and catcher Outman out with Ciccone, talking with Aaron Herr. Yamada is the number 8 hitter for the Wildcats. He was caught looking in his first at bat. Herr has struck out 3 batters. He has also now walked 3 batters. So the Giant game is the final then?
7-1.
And
Steven Strasburg, one of his shortest pitching outings of the season.
I think it was his shortest.
Yeah, I think it was his shortest.
He didn't make it till he didn't go through a full 5 innings.
Yep.
All right, here's the left-handed hitting Kyle Yamada, the DH. And Herr's pitch. He bunting out to the mound. Herr's got it, and he looks to third, now goes to first late. Just in time. Got Yamada by half a step, and the first base coach didn't like it.
Yeah, that was pretty close at first. And Herr wanted to go to third and then hesitated, and it looked like it was going to be too late to get the runner at first. It was a very close play at first.
Coach is heated at first base. That was a close play. So credit Yamada with a sacrifice bunt. Dixon goes to third, Phelan to second. Now 2 guys in scoring position for Taylor Garcia.
That coach needs to know that we must always respect the umpire's decision on these things.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm hearing this. Cannot believe you're saying it.
It's just shameful.
Swing and a miss on a fastball strike. Well, what did Garcia do in his first at bat?
Singled.
Okay. 0-1 to the right-handed hitting second Sacker. Wildcats trail by 4, but they got a couple of runners in scoring position. There it pitches right down the heart of the plate for a called strike 2. Ideal spot for her to pick up his 4th strikeout. Just as soon not have the ball in play. Her choosing to work from the stretch with runners at second and third, and the 0-2 pitch. Curveball got him looking. Oh, that was a beauty. Absolutely froze Garcia at the plate. 3 of the 4 strikeouts for Aaron Herr this evening have been of the called variety. There are 2 down. We go to the top of the order now, and Sam Lee Curtis. Curtis grounded out short to first and then popped out to the shortstop in his last at bat. Herr looking to get out of a jam here. Comes to the plate, and it's called strike. Fastball for a called strike 1. Herr trying to work around 2 walks. Now he's set. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Dixon at third, Phelan at second. One and one to count to Curtis. The pitch, high and inside, 2-1. Two balls and a strike to Curtis. Herr at the belt. The 2-1 pitch misses wide with a fastball. It's 3-1. 3-1 to Curtis. Hitter's pitch. Herr at the set. The 3-1 pitch. High pop-up on the right side in foul territory. First baseman coming over, under it, and making the catch is Newman for the third out. So Curtis pops to first, and Herr works out of a jam in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left. And at the end of 3.5, the score remains the Crabs 5 and the Wildcats 1. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, KGOE 1480, Arcadia, Eureka.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the fourth inning. Crabs will send Johnson, Cirillo, and Thielander to the bat. That's the bottom of the order. They're leading 5-1. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Wildcats. 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Crabs. All their runs coming in the last inning. So here's Johnson, hit a ball so hard against the left field fence that it's stuck in the fence. And that went for a ground rule double. That was last inning. Here's the pitch, and he takes a fastball down and away. It's 1-0. In fact, that began the rally last inning. I think it's finally come down. The 1-0 pitch is lined into right field and caught by the right fielder. No, he dropped it. Blatnick had it. He ran in. It was kind of at his knee tops. And had to catch just briefly, but ended up not being able to hold on. So that's Johnson's second hit of the night. Here's Mason Cirillo. Walked in his first appearance. And the pitch. Fastball misses inside, 1-0. Keegan Jones still out on the mound for the Wildcats, though there is a pitcher warming in the bullpen who appears to be ready to come in. I don't know if Teagan's going to make it out of this inning. The pitch misses high with a fastball, 2-0. Johnson has a very short lead over at first. Jones is not paying much attention to him. Now he extends it a little more. Here's the 2-0, and that pitch is down low and inside, and it's 3-0 now to Cirillo. A beautiful, clear evening at the Arcata Ballpark with dusk settling on the field. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a called strike, 3-1. The 3-1. Ball 4. So that'll put the first 2 runners aboard now. Here in the bottom of the 4th for Mason Thielander. Thielander aboard on an error by the third baseman in his first at bat. And that loaded the bases for David Hamilton, who hit a triple into the right center field gap. So Jones digging himself another hole here with Johnson at second and Cirillo at first. And the pitch is a fastball that misses high. One another count. Here's the pitch. Misses high, 2-0. The 2-0 is hit high in the air to center field. Going back on it is Curtis. He's near the warning track, and he's under it and has it. Johnson will hold it second. And a nice throw in by Curtis to keep the runners where they're at. So 1 away now for Hamilton, who struck out in his first at bat and then that 3-run triple last inning. He's got Johnson out at second and Cirillo at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball down and away. It's 1-0. One and 0 to Hamilton. Jones looks out at second. Now he sets. And here's the pitch. Popped high in the air, foul. It's going to drift into the seats where a Crabs fan cowers away from it. And another fan catches it on a bounce. One and one the count. The 1-1 fastball misses high and inside. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Lined in the right field. That's going to be a base hit. Johnson will score easily. They're going to hold Cirillo at second to make it, and it's 6-1 now in favor of the Crabs. So Hamilton with his 4th RBI of the night. And here's Pozos. And here comes the manager, and that is going to be it now, I believe, for Tegan Jones. I think he motioned to the bullpen, so I think it's a done deal. Well, he's still out on the mound. He hasn't taken the ball from Jones, so maybe he's not going to make the change. I thought he motioned to the bullpen, so I must be wrong. Instead, it's just a long conversation. Nope, he's going to leave him in. Cirillo out at second, Hamilton at first, Pozos the batter, only one out. A run is in here for in the 4th inning for the Crabs. They now lead 6-1. So here's Pozos. 0 for 2 with an RBI, grounded to short in his first at bat, and then grounded out to second, and that brought a run in. In fact, that brought in Hamilton from third last inning. Here's the pitch. Hits one high in the air and foul, and it's going to bounce off the judo hut. Oh, and 1 the count. Runners take their lead. Jones looks out at second from the set. He comes home in the dirt. 1-1. The 1-1 to Pozos. Misses high, throw down the second behind the runner, and he's back in time. Just in time. One and one now, the count to Pozos. Here's the pitch. Misses high with a off-speed pitch, and it's 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. That misses. Oh, it was 3-1, and that pitch misses high, and now the bases are loaded. And that surely is going to be it for Jones. Get it? Surely for Jones? Surely it for Jones. I love that. I didn't even that was just spontaneous. That didn't even. I mean, that just came from that wellspring of creativity that I have. Surely it for Jones. That's just great. They're not going to pull him. He's going to pitch to Outman.
Everyone in the audience under 40 saying, who? What? Who? What's he talking about?
Here's Outman. Takes a pitch high. Outman's 1 for 2. Flied to left and singled. I'm a little surprised he hasn't pulled him because he's walked now 2 hitters, given up 2 hits in the inning. The guy in the bullpen's been warming for a while. He's ready to go. Although we are only in the 4th inning, so.
Well, they got 2 games tomorrow,
That's
too.
what maybe thinking that. Yeah, here's the pitch. Foul tipped, and it's 1-1 now to Outman. The 0-1 fouled up against the screen. It's a ball and 2 strikes now to Outman. Newman on deck. Cirillo at third. Hamilton at second. Pozos at first. Crabs are already up by 5, looking to blow it wide open here with only 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Boy, I'm going to look bad on that pitch. Way out in front of it. Fooled him badly.
Only a second strikeout of the ball game, but a good time to get it.
Yeah,
Bases
indeed.
loaded, 1 out, and to get that strikeout. Now I got a chance to get out of it with minimal damage.
Pretty wicked pitch. Here's Newman. 0 for 2. Flied to right, and then a board on an error by the third baseman. Bases are
FOC, full of crustaceans.
with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And he takes down low.
They have 2 errors. They have 2
errors. 1-0. One hopper out to second base, and it's off his glove and in the right field. Cirillo scores. Here comes Hamilton. He will score. That ball took a bad hop on Taylor Garcia and glanced right off his glove. I don't know what I'm inclined to call it an error. I think that's got to go as an error. It was a tough error because the ball did take a hop, but he still should have had it, and he took his eye off it. So that's going to score 2 more now to make it 8-1 in favor of the Crabs.
And now we're getting a pitching change. So while we're waiting for that pitching change to occur and getting a name and number for you, let us thank the Alibi, now with 2 locations open on the Arcata Plaza to serve you. Home of the best Bloody Marys in town, large breakfast menu and weekend special. Crabs board member approved. Pub food, local microbrews, chicken wings, live music. And our breakfast menu is even better. When the Crabs play, beers are $1 off. That is the Alibi. Number 14 is the number of the new pitcher. And here you go. Let's thank the Eureka Rubber Stamp Company. The Eureka Rubber Stamp Company's been in business in Humboldt County since 1954. Locally owned and operated, manufacturing rubber stamps, engravings, vinyl signs, lanyards, novelty items, stencils, and more. New memorial rocks are now in stock. Eureka Rubber Stamp is located at 520 F Street in Eureka. The business hours from 8:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. And our friend Patty Stokeham with Remax Realty. Patty has been a Crab sponsor and supporter for more than 20 years. Patty's been selling real estate for just as long. She'll handle all the legwork for you and cover all the bases. You can give her a call today at 496, well, not tonight, at 496-3295, and you can find her on Myrtle Avenue in Eureka. That's Patty Stokeham of Remax Realty. We got a new pitcher, Benjamin.
Yes, number 14, Michael Hatfield, right-handed pitcher on in relief now. With the Crabs leading 8-1. Pozos out at second, Newman at first. 3 errors now in the game for the Wildcats. Here's Michael Perry. He's 0 for 2. 2 ground outs. He has an RBI. So we'll see if Michael Hatfield is the real McCoy out there.
Oh, boy, you're on
Terrible,
tonight.
huh?
You're on tonight.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. Hits him on the elbow.
Uh-oh.
That's going to load the bases yet again. Perry now has been hit by a pitch 8 times. The Crabs' leader is Johnson. He's been hit 10 times. Here's Logan Bush with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Yikes. Crabs already up 8-1. 5 runs last inning. They got 3 and looking for more here in this inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high. No, they're not. 1-0 the count. And there's a fastball high again, 2-0.
Once again, as in the third inning, the Crabs sending 9 men to the plate.
And the next pitch is hit high in the air and out of play. At this point, only 1, 2, 3, 4 of the Crabs' runs are earned.
Last night, the gifts by way of walk. Tonight, the gifts by way of miscues.
That's right. Hatfield winds and comes home with a fastball that misses away. 3-1, nowhere to put Bush. We may see a kind of a combo thing tonight. Walk, error.
Yeah, oh boy.
Here's 3-1. Check swing, that's a strike. 3-2 now to Bush. Bush flied to right in his first at bat and then grounded out to second base. Three and 2. Runners take off. Here's the pitch. Tap foul. Eight to 1 in favor of the Crabs. 3-2 the count. Runners go. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. 9-1.
Michael Perry took off from first base. He had crossed second base by the time the pitch got to the plate. All right. Easy RBI for Logan Bush.
So here's Johnson. He's 2 for 2 with a double and a single and 2 runs scored. Oh, boy. This is beginning to look suspiciously like last night's game.
It certainly
9-1, and that hits him 10-1. That's his 11th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. All these are unearned runs because of the 2-out error. Here's Cirillo. He was aboard on an error in the third inning and then flied out to center this inning. Earlier this inning.
No. You're looking at Telander. Cirillo has walked twice.
Oh, sorry. Right, Telander. Right. Cirillo's walked twice. Thank you. There's a pitch on the outside corner for my eyes are starting to cross. For a called strike at 7-1. And the 0-1 is lined down the left field line. That is going to be caught by the left fielder on a diving catch. A beautiful catch by Jake Faulkner to end the inning. That would have been devastating. Instead, it's a beautiful catch in left field. For the Crabs, though, they get 5 runs on 2 hits. There was an error and 3 left, and at the end of 4, they lead 10-1. This is Crabs Baseball, 1480 KGOE.
Aaron Herr out for his 5th inning of work now with a comfortable 9-run cushion. Herr looking for a team-leading 7th win against only 2 setbacks on the season, and he has shut out the Wildcats on but 3 hits. No, hasn't shut them out. Excuse me. They got a run in the 1st inning. 2nd inning. So he's held him to 1 run on 3 hits, and now all he needs to do is complete the 5th inning, and he will have enough innings in to get the win for the evening. You got to go 5 as a starter. Austin Blatnick, right-handed hitting right fielder to lead off. 0 for 2 on the evening, and Herr's first pitch is low and away, ball 1. Fastball inside, 2-0. So if this holds, the Crabs will be playing the 2 o'clock game against the Alameda Merchants, who lost to the Crabs last night 15-0. Thus, Benjamin's bet that the Crabs make it to the 6 o'clock finale is probably a good bet. So you can get a couple of ball games tomorrow if you'd like to end the season with a rush, because there's no baseball after that. 2-1 pitch is hit in the air to left center field. Moving over on it is the left fielder, and making the catch is Thielander for the first out. A running catch, 1 down, and that'll bring up Taylor Field. Field a double in 2 trips, popped out to the first baseman in his last.
Just remember, I have to take Randall tomorrow to get his nails done at 2 o'clock.
Oh, do you?
We have an appointment with his
podiatrist, cat podiatrist.
His podiatrist tomorrow at 2.
You ought to get that cat podiatrist to advertise with us. You could nail it. High and tight, 1 ball and no strikes to Taylor Field. Taylor Field, right-handed hitter. Herr's next pitch is waved at and missed. It's 1-1. Field with the only extra base hit of the ball game for the Wildcats. First inning double where he was stranded at second base. Waves at a pitch outside. Yeah, I guess he just ticked it into the glove of James Outman, but it's 1-2 either way. Herr comes home 1-2. Just misses outside. Field had a notion. The umpire, Michael Cowan, looked like he was ready to raise the arm, but it's a 2-2 count. Herr back to the plate, 2-2, inside with a breaking ball, and the count goes full. Herr walked a couple of batters to open up the 4th inning, but then got out of it. High pop-up. Right side of the infield, it's going to be Newman. No, it's going to be the second baseman, Pozos, who gathers it in for the 2nd out. Quickly, 2 down in the 5th, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Ethan Joyce. A single in 2 trips. Herr's pitch, high and tight, 1-0. The 1-0 offering, fouled off to the right and out of play. Ball and a strike. Fastball inside, 2-1. Fastball taken for a called strike, 2-2. Herr's 2-2 pitch. Fouled again. We'll do it again, 2-2. One more strike, and barring a miracle comeback, Aaron Herr will be 7-2 on this season. Not that he's going to come out after this inning. That pitch goes to the backstop, low and in the dirt. 3-2 now. Two of the three hits have come after two were out for the Wildcats. 3-2 pitch. Inside with a fastball, so a two-out walk. Jones goes to first base, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Jake Faulkner. Faulkner flew out to center and struck out, so he's 0 for 2 on the evening. Herr working from the stretch now. Oh, and he hits Faulkner. Faulkner plunked on the back. And that'll bring up Kyle Dixon. Dixon a single and a walk on the evening. So Herr a little wildness. He walks Ethan Joyce and then plunks Jake Faulkner. 2 down, 2 on, and here is right-handed hitting Kyle Dixon, the third baseman. Curveball and a beauty for a called strike 1. Herr at the belt. The 0-1. Fastball waves at and missed. And now Herr ahead of Dixon. No balls and 2 strikes. Herr allowed the first 2 batters aboard in the 4th inning before shutting down the Wildcats. In this inning, he got the first 2 batters and then put a couple of men on base by a walk and hit batter. But he's 0-2 now to Dixon, trying to get out of this mini jam. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball is grounded down to the third baseman. Off his glove. Perry's got it. The throw across the diamond bounces over the first baseman's head. That's going to score a run. And moving over to second and third, the batter to second, the second runner to third. So that'll be an error on the third baseman, Perry, to allow Joyce to score. Faulkner moves to third. Dixon on the overthrow at first trots over to second. It's now a 10-2 ball game. That is an unearned run. And that'll bring up Mike Phelan, who has twice drawn a free pass from Aaron Herr. And we're starting to see a little bit of action now. Right-hander just beginning to toss in the Crabs bullpen. Right-handed hitting catcher Mike Phelan. The pitch. Fouled straight back, strike 1. So Herr should have been out of this, but an error prolongs the inning. Runners at second and third. The 0-1 pitch just misses low and away, and the count even at 1-1. Herr is set. The pitch. Breaking ball misses low and outside. 2-1. Right-hander versus right-hander. Herr gets the sign from Outman. At the belt. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball outside corner for a called strike 2. 2 on, 2 gone, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mike Phelan, who wears number 2 on his back. 22. Lots of deuces on the scoreboard. The pitch. Just misses outside. I think Phelan thought it was ball 4. He headed toward first base, but that makes the count full, 3-2. Runners will not be going as first base is open. Her now at the belt. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball is punched into center field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. 1 run comes in. Here comes the second run. He will score on the 2-run single by Mike Phelan, and it's a 10-5 ball game. Well, this inning started innocently enough. A fly ball to left and a pop to the second baseman. But then a 2-out single, a hit batter, an error, and another single, and suddenly it's a, did I say 10-5? 10-4. 10-4 ball game. 10-4, Phelan on at first base with 2 gone, and here is Kyle Yamada. So the Wildcats have struck for 3. Fouled off by Yamada, strike 1. Yeah, with 2 outs and nobody on, we said Her just needed 1 more out to officially get in the win category and hadn't been able to get it yet. 4 successive batters have been on base. A walk, a hit batter, an error, and then a single. They've only had 1 hit this inning, and they've scored 3 runs. The 0-1 pitch to Yamada is grounded weakly to the left side. Perry's up with it. The throw across the diamond in time to retire Yamada and the Wildcats in the 5th inning. However, the Wildcats come up with 3 runs on just a single hit. There was an error and 1 left. And now at the end of 4.5, it's the Crabs 10 and the Wildcats 4. You're listening to Crabs Baseball, KGOE 1480, Arcadia, Eureka. You are indeed.
Okay. I'm ready. Here's my popcorn. That inning lasted just long enough for me to eat my popcorn. Perfect.
I tried to get it timed that way.
All right, we're back.
Crabs would like to thank True Motion Fitness, a unique approach to movement health. We feature muscle activation techniques, personal training, and a unique movement space, all focused on building a stronger, balanced, and stable you so that you can move through life and desired activities with greater enjoyment and efficiency. True Motion Fitness is located at 901 O Street in Arcata. You can phone them at 822-3018. That's True Motion Fitness. Halfway through the ball game, the Crabs with a comfortable 10-4 lead. And for all the action, here's the Professor Benjamin Schaefer.
Thanks, Hook. Mason Thielander to lead it off for the Crabs. Takes a fastball down and away.
When do you go back to your day job?
The 16th is my first day back. The instruction doesn't begin until the following Monday. But we have meetings, and convocation is August 16th. Want to know the count? Fastball on the outside corner.
What is convocation?
Convocation is when the president speaks to the faculty, and they update us on all the changes that have happened over the summer, new projects, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
1-1 the count. Fastball misses away, 2-1. They introduce new faculty. It's always a good time. The 2-1. Misses high, 3-1. I'm quite looking forward to the new semester.
That's good.
It's just perfect. The crabs are just perfect. It's just I'm ready for the crabs to be done. I'm enjoying it, but time to move on to back to school, and it's exactly the right amount of time for me. Fastball down and away, ball 4. T-Lander aboard. Here's Hamilton, 2 for 3 tonight with 4 RBIs, a triple and a single. From the set, here's the pitch to Hamilton, and it's a fastball down low. Michael Hatfield, who came on in relief of Tegan Jones last inning, is on the mound for the Wildcats. 1-0 to Hamilton. T-Lander over at first. Here's the pitch. Hits that one in the air to left field. Left fielder mostly in his tracks. Now he moves over towards the line a little bit to put it away for out number 1. Here's Brian Pozos.
No, the last inning was made by Cirillo on a nice play by the left fielder.
Toss to first, and T-Lander dives back safely.
Oh, that's right. That is right. Okay. I understand.
Here's the pitch, and it's a breaking pitch that misses outside. 1-0 now to Pozos. From the set, here's the 1-0, and that's fouled out of play.
Not too early to start to give thanks to all the people unseen who have so much to do with putting this season together each year, and I'm talking about the people on the board of directors.
That's right.
Who work
a lot of work,
months and months and months to bring us 2 months of summer baseball.
1-1 the count. The runner fakes going, and the pitch is inside for a called strike. 1-2. Hatfield's not really paying much attention to T-Lander. It's probably a good strategy. One and two the count. T-Lander with a good lead over there now, and here's the pitch. High hopper down to short, should be 2. He's over to second for 1, back to first. Good pick by the first baseman in field, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for the Crabs. In the bottom of the 5th, they lead 10-4. This is Crabs Baseball, 1480 KGOE.
I don't know if anyone's heard me. Has anyone heard me? Have I been on the air?
No.
Huh?
No.
All that work. I mean, it was encyclopedic knowledge of the game that I was sharing with our fans, and it turns out I wasn't on the air. Well, that's shocking.
I was wondering why I had that feeling of peace and contentment suddenly came over me.
Well,
Here's Taylor Garcia to lead it off for the Wildcats.
I buy your 50-50 ticket tonight. That's going to make you a rich man. Probably make more money than you earn, in 3 months on the at the university, right?
All right, here's Watland against Garcia. And the pitch. Fastball fouled out of play. It's 0-1.
I don't mean to demean your salary at the university. I know you're supping off the public trough, taxpayer money, sucking money out of our wallets. Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. Indoctrinating your kids.
Yeah.
Liberal, subversive ideas. 0-2 the count. Yeah, it's a good life.
Where's the House Un-American Activities Committee when we need it, huh?
0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Ooh, misses high with a breaking pitch. 1-2. So I don't know if our listeners heard the Watland's numbers.
I'm sorry,
since
yeah,
you
I was
were off the air
talking
during
about
that time.
the reliever into the ball game is Justin Watland. He comes in with a 2-0 record.
The 1-2 check swing is in the dirt. Did he go around? Yes, says the first base umpire, and that'll be it for Garcia.
Watland's got a high earned run average of 4.43. In 22 1/3 innings, he's given up only 20 hits. He has walked 7 and fanned 17.
So 1 out now, back to the top of the order. This is Curtis. He's 0 for 3. 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for the Wildcats. 10 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Fastball misses low. 2-0. Two-0 fastball is low again. 3-0. Wildcats got a run in the second. Crabs got 5 in the bottom of the third. Then 5 more in the bottom of the fourth. But the Wildcats got 3 of their own in the top of the fifth. And there's a strike on the inside corner. 3-1 now the count. We're in the top of the sixth inning. 1 out, nobody on for the Wildcats. The 3-1. High and deep and foul. And out onto Highway 101 northbound. So that's one mighty loud strike, and it's 3-2 now to Curtis. Curtis, I think, is the one who hit a home run. No, it was Field that hit a home run against the Crabs in the earlier series. But Curtis had a good series. He was 4 for 9. In that midweek series a couple weeks ago. 3-2 pitch. Line into left field for a base hit. So Curtis is aboard with 1 out. Here's Blatnick. He's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. Fastball down low. 1-0 the count. Wildcats can get something going here. They get back in this game. They're down 10-4 at the moment.
Long climb.
It's a long climb, but they're not far from getting back in a couple runs. 10-6. We're only in the 6th inning. One and 0 the count. And the pitch. Fastball down low, 2-0.
Guess I'm going to have to wait till next summer to collect my nickel bet from Don Hofacker last night. He told me the game would come closer after we were ahead 11-0. And no,
He was incorrect.
I'm going to charge him interest. It's going to cost him 7 cents when I see him next
He was
June.
in error.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Fastball down low. Throw back behind the runner, and he's back safely.
I know it's hard for you to believe an umpire could ever be in error. You revere them so.
I do, yes.
Little shrine in your bedroom.
I call Don in the off-season for life advice all the time.
Well, he's got good life advice.
3-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the inside corner. It's 3-1. And the pitch. Tap foul.
Oh, boy.
He hit that so hard on the ground it actually leapt over the fence and into the seats. That was a strange spin on that ball. Three and two the count. One out, Curtis at first. Crabs are attempting to win out in the tournament and end the season
35 and 15.
35 and 15. Here's the pitch. Misses low. So Blatnick's aboard now. And with 2 on and 1 out, here's Field, and he's the guy who hit the home run earlier in the season against.
Giacone going to the mound. I'm sorry. Cut you off.
Fine. No, it's all right, yeah. I was just going to say, I was finished.
Well, Giacone now going out to try and settle down Justin Watley. Because as you say, a big blow here, and
Yeah, they're
we
back
got a ball
in it.
game.
Yeah.
And you got the 3 and 4 hitters coming to the bat, each with a base knock tonight. Yeah, if they win out, we determined that would be 70% for the season,
Right.
which is a pretty fair baseball season. Last year they were over 80%. That was an incredible year, 40 and 9. Long conference on the mound now. The home plate umpire, Cowan, goes out and says, time to break this confab up. So Giacone walking toward the bench, and now James Outman coming back to get in the squat behind the plate.
So here we go. Curtis at second, Blatnick at first. Here's Field. We know he's got power. From the set, he looks out at second. High leg kick, and he deals. There's a grounder over to third. He's going to touch the bag. He's going to throw to first, and that's going to end the inning. A 5-3 double play. Nice play by Perry. And the Crabs get out of it. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left, and at the end of 5.5, it's 10-4 Crabs. This is Crabs baseball, 1480 KGOE. I guess we're back. I don't know. They're having the tennis ball toss at the moment, which has been a recent addition to the ballpark where people try to toss tennis balls from the seats into a bucket that's placed behind home plate. And I think the winners receive free tickets to the county fair. I haven't seen one person get it in the bucket yet. Did somebody get in the bucket this time? One person did, I think. Finally got it in the bucket.
Are we back?
We're back. So it's Outman, Newman, and Perry for the Crabs.
All right. Let's thank North Coast Audiology. North Coast Audiology, we're always working to provide our patients with the best possible care. North Coast Audiology is many things to many people, but at its core, it reaches out to the community. We believe our work is an integral part of a viable Humboldt County, and we believe strongly in the 70-year history of audiology and that the field as a whole must be protected and refined by serious students and careful practitioners. You can contact Julie Kelly at 2818 Harris Street in Eureka. You can give her a call at 443-4503. That's North Coast Audiology. All right, heading into the bottom of the sixth inning, it'll be the heart of the Crabs order. James Outman, Jason Newman, and Michael Perry seeking to extend their 10-4 lead against the second hurler for the
Wildcats.
What are they?
Meow.
Oh,
The Wildcats.
There they are.
Here's the pitch from McCoy. Hatfield, I mean, and it's fouled out of play.
That's the real Hatfield.
Yes. 0-1 the count. Outman's 1 for 3, and he takes a pitch at the knees. It's 0-2. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Crabs will play again. And probably at 6. There's a pitch in the dirt and all the way to the backstop. 1-2 now to Outman. 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Wildcats. 10 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. And the 1-2. Breaking pitch misses inside. 2-2. Well, that had a lot of break on it, and it just missed. 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking pitch, and it's fouled over to the Wildcats dugout. Count remains 2-2. Outman will be followed by Newman and Perry. The 2-2. Lined in the left field and right. Oh, and it's off his glove. Jake Faulkner, that was right at him. He kind of misplayed it, but he had plenty of time to get back on it and just had to kick off his glove. That's the 4th error of the night for the Wildcats.
He came in a step and then said, "Uh-oh, it's going back." But he did have time to get it, and it just bounced
off the heel. Yeah. So Newman will be the hitter with Outman over at first. Newman has been gifted 2 errors tonight, both by the third baseman. He's also flied to right. So Outman over at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch on the outside corner for a called strike.
Remember Kevin when they killed Osama bin Laden and the Mets-Phillies game was happening at the same time and the whole crowd started chanting, USA! USA! Awesome, thank you. That was like...
Swing and a miss. 0-2 now to Newman.
Thanks. I was watching the game too.
Here's the pitch. Lined in the right field and right at Austin Blatnick, who fields it cleanly for out number 1. Michael Perry will be the hitter. 0 for 2.
22, Michael Perry.
Here's the pitch to Perry, and it's hit in the air to right center field, and that is going to be into the gap. It's going to go all the way up to the fence. Outman's coming around third. They're going to hold him there, and Perry's in with a stand-up double. Logan Bush will be the hitter.
It's going to come down to the final day of the season as to who is the leading batter for the Humboldt Crabs.
Yeah,
Perry
he is,
has just
yeah.
crept up and up.
He has.
He started the game hitting
366, I believe.
yeah, and Outman was at 371. James Outman is 1 for 4 tonight. Perry is 1 for 3.
Yeah.
So it's going to go down to the wire tomorrow.
Here's the pitch. Fastball rides high. 1-0 the count. Fouls that one out of play. A ball and a strike now to Logan Bush. Bush flied to right, grounded out to second, and then walked in a run. 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Breaking pitch is popped high in the air and foul, and it's going to drift over the Crabs' dugout and off the clubhouse, where it sets off a car alarm as it bounces into the parking lot.
Shut that off.
1-2. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Two and two the count. Here's the pitch. Hit down the left field line. Left fielder making a run on it, and he's got it. Outman will tag and come in to make it 11-4 in favor of the Crabs. So a sacrifice fly for Bush. Perry holds at second. Yet another unearned run for the Crabs.
Yeah, left.
Only 4 of their 11 runs are earned tonight. Here's Newt Johnson. Double, single, hit by a pitch. 2 runs and an RBI. Here's the pitch, and it's a breaking pitch on the outside corner for a called strike.
Crabs have 2 players for sure that are going to hit over 300, obviously Outman and Perry.
Hamilton
Hamilton
is now up over 300, I believe.
He'll barely be above 300. Newman will be barely above 300.
There's a grounder out to short on a few hops, throw to first, and that'll end the inning. Crabs get a run on a hit. There was an error and a runner left, and at the end of 6, they're up 11-4. This is Crabs Baseball, 1480 KGOE.
North Coast Co-op, a natural foods consumer-owned cooperative grocery store located in the far reaches of Northern California, surrounded by redwood trees where the mountains meet the sea. With one location in Eureka and one in Arcata, we feel fortunate to live in a place of immense beauty while serving the needs of our Humboldt County community. In Arcata, the co-op is at 8th and I Street, in Eureka at 4th and B. All right, heading into the top of the 7th inning, Crabs with a comfortable 7-run lead. And here's Benjamin.
Thanks, Hoke. Joyce, Faulkner, and Dixon. 3 great literary.
James, Willie, and who's Dixon? I don't know Dixon.
2 great literary. Here's the pitch. Hit down the right field line. That's going to be trouble. That is going to go down the line.
Foul.
Oh, that's foul, really. That looked fair to me. That looked obviously fair. Okay. Nobody's disputing it. Well, they actually, Wildcats are disputing it. The manager just told them to settle down over there in the dugout. That looked fair to me.
Well, we don't have a real good view. The umpire's right there on the line. I would go with him. The first base coach didn't make a big fuss about it.
No, he didn't. No. Well, anyway, 0-1 to Joyce then. And here's the pitch. Misses high, 1-1. The 1-1 is tapped down towards third. Reynolds is in on it. Bare hands. Throw to first. Nice play by Perry.
Perry.
Michael Perry. Nice play. Swinging bunt. Perry bare hands and throws him out.
That was a sweet play. I mean, he only had one chance.
He's going to have to barehand it if he's going to make the play. Yep.
Exactly.
And he has to field it cleanly.
And he's clean. And he's fielding it on a run. So and then making a perfect throw to first base. That was the fielding gem of the day
That
for
sure
the Crabs.
was. That was a good play. Here's Faulkner. Watland into the windup, and there's a breaking pitch that misses low. The 1-0 swing and a miss, 1-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, 4 errors for the Wildcats. 11 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. The errors are really the difference. Here's the 1-1. High in the air in the left field. Thielander coming in. Hamilton going out. It'll be Hamilton in left field to put it that way for out number 2.
Couple of nice fielding plays.
That was a long run for Hamilton.
There was a danger that there was going to be a collision between Perry, Hamilton, and Thielander coming in. Here's Kyle Dixon.
2 outs, nobody on, top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Fastball in on the hands, and he fouls it off the screen. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1.
Now the all-time would be for him to hit a hard shot that would be caught by Thielander in left field. That would be known as the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah. 1-1 the count. Check swing, and he fouls it off his foot.
That was better than Shirley Jones.
1-2. It was not bad. Shirley Jones was totally spontaneous.
Oh, well, I worked on that one, but I had to set it up a little bit, I admit.
1-2 the count. High in the air, left field, center field, actually. Cirillo coming in on it, and he has it for out number 3.
That was another Mason.
That was another Mason, you're right. It was a Mason-Dixon loop. We go 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th. Crabs lead 11-4. This is Crabs Baseball, 1480 KGOE.
One last shot. No, we have one more tomorrow, but the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and then 10 months of Void, where we don't hear that, or Elvira.
That's right. I'll miss Take Me Out to the Ballpark.
Yeah, I'll miss Elvira.
I will not.
Where else will you hear Elvira? All right, here we go. Bottom of the 7th.
Cirillo, Tielander, and Hamilton for the Crabs, leading 11-4.
Cirillo made the last put out.
Here's the pitch. Ooh, he lines one, foul down the right field line.
Cirillo was robbed in his last at bat, a fine play by the left fielder Faulkner.
Yeah, diving catch.
And that was with the bases jammed, wasn't it? Or a couple
yeah,
of
it was.
runners
Yeah,
aboard?
it would have really busted the game open. It's already 11-4, and Faulkner, just a beautiful diving catch, could just really pick it up off the turf. I mean, before it had a chance to land.
Yeah.
1-0 is a breaking pitch at the knees, 1-1. Actually, 0-2 is the count, and there's a swing and a miss, and that's it for Cirillo. That is I think the first strikeout, isn't it, for
Hatfield?
Hatfield. Here's Mason Tielander. And the pitch to Tielander is a breaking pitch on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Tielander tonight, aboard on an error, fly to center and walked. Here's the pitch. Misses high. 1-1. And the windup, the 1-1 is in the dirt, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. In the air to left center field. Center fielder calling for it. Curtis is under it and has it for out number 2. Top of the order, Dave Hamilton will be the hitter. 2 for 4 tonight with a triple and a single. 4 RBIs. And the pitch is a fastball that rides high. One and on the count. Here's the pitch. Lined in the center field. That is going to be a base hit. Hamilton with his 3rd hit of the night.
And now he will be well over 300 as we go into tomorrow.
That's right.
He started the game at 299. He moved to 305 with 2 hits and 4 at-bats, and now he's got 3 for 5. So.
Here's Pozos. Pozos tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. Hamilton at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Hamilton leads the Crabs in stolen bases with 16 out of 17. He probably would have stolen more this season, but they just had so many huge leads that he didn't have that many opportunities, I don't think. Like here, he's probably not going to be stealing here. 0-1, fouled up against the screen with the Crabs up by 6.
7.
7,
actually.
I mean, yeah. That's my point.
So many. Who can count? Who can
So
count
many.
that? Got to bring that abacus back.
Luckily, I'm not a math professor.
Yes.
0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. In the air to center field. Going back on it is Curtis, and he has it for out number 3. No runs, a hit, no errors, a runner left, and at the end of 7, Crabs are up 11-4. This is Crabs Baseball, 1480 KGOE. All right, back at the ballpark, I think. It's Phelan, Yamada, and Phelan. Yamada and... All right, back at the ballpark. Phelan, Yamada, and Garcia for the Wildcats in the top of the 8th inning, trailing 11-4. Justin Watland out on the mound for his 3rd inning of work in relief of Aaron Herr.
No. She didn't win.
Well, the sad news is I didn't win the 50-50, Hoke.
Really?
The little monster that pulled the ticket pulled the wrong color.
Oh, that's just awful. She should be removed from the park, Benjamin. So sad.
Here's Phelan. And the pitch. Fastball is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1.
Never mind.
Has 2 walks and a 2 RBI single tonight. Here's the 0-1. There's a ground ball slowly out to short. Hamilton throws him out. 1 away.
I'll tell you what was most disturbing about the drawing tonight is that Kevin, who went out and bought our tickets, and we had red tickets, and before they called the drawing, Kevin's yelling, "White ticket, white ticket." I mean, he gives us these and then yells for a white ticket.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
had to buy it.
And he took my dollar to get it. Or he took your dollar to get it, actually.
Yeah.
Fastball. This is
We have a
high,
new
1-0.
hitter. Luke Noble, pinch
pinch
hitting
hitter.
for Kyle Yamada. Luke Noble, Noble.
He's the designated hitter, and he takes a pitch down low, 1-1.
That's a neat last name. That's something to live up to. A noble,
Yeah.
a noble
Yeah.
person. A noble
Yeah.
person.
I'm sure out here in baseball, he's in his element. 1-1 the count.
Great nobility in baseball. Great nobility. Been trying to convince my wife of that for a number of decades.
And 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Fouled up against the screen. You missed my little chemistry joke there. Noble's in his element, and the noble elements. This is a high-class
Jeez.
operation here.
Yeah.
And sophisticated jokes. 1-2 the count.
Sulfurous in nature.
In the dirt. 2-2.
Well, it's silly time when you're ahead by 7 runs. You can afford to be a little silly.
Absolutely. 2-2 the count. And there's a high hopper over to third. Perry has got it. Throw to first. 2 away. Here's Garcia, the second baseman. He's 1 for 3. Singled and then struck out a couple times, 1 of each variety.
Now batting number 10, Taylor Garcia.
Here's the pitch. Fastball down low, 1-0. So if things hold this way, then tomorrow the Crabs will play the Alameda Merchants at 2 o'clock. 1-0 swing and a miss, and if that game's over by 6, then
Yeah, right. we ought point out there will be a game before that at 10
there's a
o'clock
10 o'clock
in the morning.
game, right?
And that will involve this team, the Wildcats, and the
Next pitch is high, 2-1.
who am I
The
missing?
Wildcats and the Mudcats tomorrow.
Mudcats. It's a cat fight tomorrow in the 10 o'clock game.
2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. High hopper down to third. Perry in on it. Bare
Oh, my
hands and
goodness.
another brilliant play by Michael Perry at third. Another bare hand catch. That was even better than the first one. Wow.
Perry putting on a fielding clinic tonight.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
Wildcats go in order. Crabs lead 11-4. This is spectacular Crabs baseball. 1480 KGOE.
Oh, my. the mound.
All right. We're back. Bottom of the 8th inning, new pitcher on the mound for the Wildcats. It's Logan Markstein. Is that his name?
Logan Markstein. Yeah.
Markstein.
Third pitcher employed in the ball game by the Wildcats.
The line on Hatfield, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits. He gave up 1 run. It was not earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. So he came in and did a good job in relief of Jones, who will get the loss if things continue in this way. Altman, Newman, and Perry to bat for the Crabs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Altman tonight is 1 for 4. He has scored a run. Here's the pitch from Markstein, and this is way high and outside, 1-0.
Did we ever get attendance?
Oh, yes, it's 6:05.
1-0 pitch is down in the dirt, 2-0. 605 folks at the ballpark tonight. The count to Outman. That one's lashed high in the air to right center field. That is going to be up against the fence on a bounce. Outman cruising around first. He's in the second standing. That was a high pitch out over the plate, and Outman just launched it. So here's Newman with Outman out at second. Newman is 0 for 4. Markstein gets the sign, or looks in for the sign. Now he's ready. Looks out at second, and the pitch. Fouled up against the backstop.
Newman needs a base hit here to keep his average above 300 going into the final day of the season. He's 0 for 4, and that's taken him from 309 at the start of the contest down to 301 as he enters this at bat.
Oh, and 1 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt, and that's going to allow Outman to go to third on the wild pitch.
Unofficial attendance, 21. The age of 40. Official attendance, 605.
1-1 the count to Newman. Outman over at third after a little brief meeting on the mound. The catcher's back in his position, and we're ready to go. Markstein looks over at third and deals, and that hit him on the hand. Oof.
Ouch.
And he is
ouch.
not happy.
A lot of Crabs have been plunked.
Yeah, last 2 games, and that
hurts.
he's going to go to first, but he's obviously in a lot of pain. That hit him right on the hand. And I think that the pitcher and the manager are arguing that it was a foul ball. That's exactly what they're arguing, is that he started to swing at it and he fouled it, but he just hit him on the fist instead of the other part of the bat, and that it's not a hit by pitch in that case. And I don't know what the rule on that is. Do you, Hope?
No.
Because that is what happened. He started to swing and it hit his hand.
Well, if he hadn't gone around and it hit his hand, then it's hit by a pitch.
Right.
It's hit by a pitch.
So I guess the question is whether he'd gone around. Right. Well, he's down at first either way. So I guess the ruling is that he did not go around.
I don't think he went around. I think it was a check swing
Yeah.
situation, and it plunked him. That's the right call, I believe.
So first and third now for Perry, who is 1 for 3 with a double. He's got runners on the corners, nobody out. Crabs up 11-4. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. The 0-1. Fouled out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Runners take their lead. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he bounces it, and that one hit Perry on the face.
It bounced up.
It bounced up and hit him
then
in the face. Yikes. And that Perry went down immediately, and I don't know if he's okay. He's up now, but it split his lip. And Perry's heading over to the dugout. I don't know if it's to get a Band-Aid or what, but that hit him on the mouth. That pitch was about a 55-foot pitch, and they're going to put a pinch runner in for Perry.
Oh my goodness gracious, sakes alive!
Jeez. So the pinch runner is
28?
Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
I think Perry's okay, but that obviously shakes you up because the ball was thrown pretty hard and it bounced right up at him in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the likelihood is he got a split lip from that baby.
Yep. So actually we're going to have a pinch hitter now for Bush, it looks like. This is 32. This is Ryan Ralston.
Once again, we can say the bases are FOC full of crustaceans.
Ryan Ralston, I think this is his first at bat of the season.
Nobody out.
It is. So they're giving the pitchers a chance to bat this weekend. With the bases loaded now, nobody out. Here's Ralston. First pitch was high. It's 1-0. And the next pitch in the dirt, 2-0. So Outman at third, Newman at second, Reynolds at first. Both Newman and Reynolds were painfully hit by pitches. $1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt and all the way to the backstop. Here comes Outman. He will score, and everybody's going to move up. Yikes.
So Outman with a leadoff double was wild pitched to third and then wild pitched home.
And and then 2 hit batters in between. So Logan Markstein not really pitching very well. He's all over the place with the pitches.
3-0 now
To Ralston.
to Ralston.
Yikes. 12-4 Crabs. Ball 4. And now it begins. And here comes the manager out to the mound. They have a right hand. They have a right-hander and a lefty warming on the bullpen. They're going to go to the pen for the left-hander.
Well, seems like we've been here before. It's deja vu all over again.
It does seem like that.
12-4. There's nobody out. The base is loaded.
Mark Stein, we hardly knew ye.
Yeah, that's the case.
Can't get another guy. Oh, boy.
While we're waiting for the new pitcher
42.
to come in, let's thank some of the folks who keep the Crabs on the field and on the air. We've read their ads earlier, but just to give them a shout out for being with us this season. The Alibi on the Plaza, California State Federal Employees Credit Union, Eureka Rubber Stamp Company, Harper Motors, the Lost Coast Brewery, the Mad River Brewing Company,
Well,
North Coast Audiology, the North Coast Co-op, Patty Stokeham of Remax Realty, and True Motion Fitness.
all right. The new pitcher is not on the roster. His number is 42, and that's all we know about him.
So number 42.
And he's left-handed. And that he's trailing 12-4, and that he's got the bases loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th inning.
All right.
Indeed.
A second long night.
All right. It's going to be Johnson to bat with Newman at third, Reynolds at second, Ralston at first. Newt Johnson tonight is 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and an RBI. He's also been hit by a pitch. So number 42 into the set. And comes home with a fastball that misses high and away. 1-0. Nowhere to put Johnson. So this could get, and there's nobody out. This could take a while.
Still a better game than last night.
So far, 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. One and one the count. Here's the pitch. Misses away, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. In there for a called strike, and the count even now, 2-2 to Johnson. Bases are loaded, there's nobody out.
It's not. I mean, the Crabs won various events.
Here's the pitch. 3-2. Nowhere to put him. Put that watch down.
Heading toward 10.
3-2 the count. And the pitch. High in the air to center field. That'll score another run. Curtis is under it and has it. Here comes Newman to make it 13-4 in favor of the Crabs. So sacrifice fly for Johnson. Everybody except Newman holds. And here's Cirillo. Walked a couple times, lined to left, and struck out. Reynolds at second, Ralston at first. 1 out. 42 on the mound. From the belt. Comes home, and there's a ground ball to first base, and it goes right through his legs and into right field. That'll be an error on field. That is the 5th error of the night for the Auburn Wildcats.
Gee, Benjamin, it gives me an opportunity to say the bases are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had that opportunity
Numerous
several occasions last
times
couple
in a lot.
nights.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's T-Lander. Bases loaded, 1 out. Yikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball away. It's 1-0. Might be better next year to think about reversing the tournaments.
Or just having a second tournament that has some,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
It's tough to know, though.
It
For
is
example,
tough to know. The 1-0 is hit in the air to
Come on.
center field, and center field is going back at the warning track. He's got it. Here comes Reynolds to score, and it's 14-4 in favor of the Crabs. Another sacrifice fly for the Crabs. You were going to say, for example,
I have no
you
idea.
said it's hard to know. You said we need to get better teams for the tournament. Then you said it's hard to know, however.
Oh, yeah. Someone like the Merchants, if you'd have looked at the Merchants mid-season, you'd say that's a
Right.
great team to bring in here.
Right.
Because they were a good
right.
team. But
Right. But then we only got 12 of them.
Yeah.
And then weren't there better players. Want to know the count now to Hamilton, who's 3 for 5 tonight. A lot of their players went off to play in the World Series. That's fouled out of play.
College World
One and
Series
one,
back
the
in
College
Wichita.
World Series,
or not
yeah.
College World Series. You mean the
Or the whatever, some World Series.
yeah, the one in Wichita.
Yeah,
That,
yeah. The
Semi-pro.
semi-pro or whatever, yeah.
Right.
Right. 1-1 the count. Ralston at second, Cirillo at first. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. 2-1 now to Hamilton. Two-one pitch. Misses high again. 3-1. Oh my. 14 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. 4 runs, 6 hits, 5 errors now for the Wildcats. And there's ball 4.
Brian Pozos coming to bat with the bases. FOC full of crustaceans. Hey!
Here's the pitch to Pozos. He takes a fastball right down the middle for a called strike.
Of course, last night the Crabs had 9 innings to score 15 runs. They're only going to get 8 at bats tonight. So if they're going to match it, we need a base hit here.
Fouled out of play.
Or even more exciting, another walk.
Another walk,
Another
or
would
yeah,
be-
would be
would
great.
really
Or
exciting.
maybe a balk or an error on a play. Or 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Oh, a beautiful breaking pitch right over the heart of the plate for called strike 3. That'll end the inning. 3 runs on a hit. There was an error and 3 left. And at the end of 8, it's 14-4 in favor of the Crabs. Stay tuned. Top of the 9th inning coming up. This is Crabs Baseball, 1480
Top of the
KGO.
order. Top of the order.
We're back, top of the 9th inning. Curtis, Blatnick, and Field, the top of the order for the Wildcats. Their last chance against Justin Watland and the Crabs, who are up by 10 runs, 14-4.
I had a sad athletic happening today. I went bowling, and I had, going into the 10th frame, all I needed to do was get a strike or a spare in the 10th frame, and I would have a clean game, no open frames, and I would break 200, which is me is good. You know, you get a deuce. My first ball, I knocked down 9 pins. I left the lousy 10 pin. All I needed to do was pick up the 10 pin, and I choked. Oh, and I lost the deuce.
Oh,
and
isn't that the lamest?
It was so sad.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, the
Agony in the
agony
ecstasy.
the agony of defeat.
Yeah. I'd just like to have the thrill of victory.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, yep. So here's Curtis. He takes a fastball high. It's 1-0. 1 for 4 is Curtis tonight. 4 runs, 6 hits, 5 errors for the Wildcats. Next pitch is a high hopper down to third. Perry has it. Throw to first. 1 away. 14 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Crabs. 2 o'clock tomorrow, the Crabs will play the Alameda Merchants, who they absolutely destroyed last night. Actually, it was more like the Merchants destroyed themselves. A game where they gave up 15 runs on 15 walks.
And the game was over before you could say Jackie Robinson. I mean, the Crabs scored 7 runs in the top of the first inning.
And that was it. Yeah, they never looked back. There's a fastball on the inside corner to Blatnick. It's 0-1.
When the second place person also breaks the final record, get 2 people who unbelievable.
Here's the 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. A ball and a strike to count. Here's the pitch. Down low, 2-1.
400 meters, people a long way to swim.
One out, nobody on, top of the 9th inning. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses inside, 3-1. Ball 4. So Blatnick aboard with 1 out. Here's Field. This is not Field, after all. This is number 46. Davis Rodrigo. And Rodrigo is another one of those players who came in playing for another team earlier this season and is now playing for.
Are you sure of that? You know that.
I know the name for sure, and he's not in my lineup
All right.
for this team. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. The computer would remember him from that game. If I tried to put his name in, it would come in automatically.
Ah.
And so that's how I would know.
Okay.
And it does not. So that means that even though his name, I remember the name, Rodrigo. It wasn't with the Wildcats.
Okay.
1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Blatnick over first. 1 out. 1-2 now to Rodrigo. The 1-2 is popped high in the air and foul, and it's going to drift out of play.
Just a reminder, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it's the Wildcats and the Mudcats. At 2 o'clock, it's the Crabs and the Merchants. The winners of those 2 games will meet for the tournament championship at 6 o'clock.
1-2 to count to Blatnick, and you're going to want to get up early for that 10 a.m. game.
I wouldn't miss a pitch.
This is high and inside. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 to Rodrigo. Fouled out of play. Two and 2 to count. And here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, 2 away. Rodrigo not very happy about the call.
That could
a
be a
close pitch.
pivotal point in the ball game.
Yeah. Here's Ethan Joyce. Latnick still over at first with 2 outs. They're down to their last out, are the Wildcats, and there's a pitch in the dirt, and he's going to go to second on the wild pitch. So the 5th run is in scoring position now with 2 outs for the Wildcats. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. In the air to right field and deep. Going back on it, and he falls down is Bush, and it hits up against the fence. Here comes the 5th run on a big double by Joyce to make it 14-5 in favor of the Crabs. Bush turned to catch that and just fell down, and he's getting a big hand from his teammates in the dugout.
Well, you can.
Oh, it's Ryan Ralston. It's actually not Bush. It's Ryan Ralston out in right field. That's right.
All right. Logan Bush has played some great right field for us.
I was going to say, that was not the prettiest play out there. That he got up to the warning track and fell down.
New guy, number 5.
Now we're going to have another pinch hitter. This is Austin Spainhour for Joyce. No, for Faulkner. And he hits one up against the screen. So Joyce out at second. 0-1 now to Spainhour. (14-5) in favor of the Crabs. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. And the pitch. Hits that one in the air left field. Coming in on it, and it's going to drop. Is Thielander on the play. Joyce goes to third. Here's Dixon. Runners on the corners. 2 outs.
There you go. Waiting for that. It is close enough to wood.
It's woodish.
Here's the pitch. There's a high hopper over the mound. Out to second. Pozos picks it up, throws to first, and that's the ball game. Crabs win game number, their 33rd game of the season. For the Crabs in victory, 14 runs on 8 hits. They committed 2 errors. The win goes to Aaron Herr, who is now
7-2.
7-2 on the season. The Wildcats, 5 runs, 8 hits, 5 errors. The loss goes to Tegan Jones. The Crabs are now 2-0 in the tournament. Or 3-0 in the tournament, actually, right? 3-0 in the tournament. And tomorrow at 2 o'clock, you're going to want to come out for what may be the last game of the season for the Crabs. They're going to take on the Alameda Merchants at 2, and then perhaps another game at 6, almost certainly another game at 6.
Yeah, I think so.
And until then, Hoke, anything?
That'll do it from the ballpark tonight. For my broadcasting buddy, the Professor Benjamin Schaefer, I'm Hoke Holcomb, and we're rounding third and heading for home.
And welcome back to the Arcata Ballpark, where the Humboldt Crabs just keep on rolling as they play themselves into the number 1 seed in tomorrow's semifinal championship day. We'll have the Humboldt Crabs versus the Alameda Merchants, the winless Alameda Merchants, at least in this tournament. They'll be the 4th seed. They'll be facing the Humboldt Crabs tomorrow at 2. And the game before that, a rematch of the Auburn Wildcats and Solano Mudcats. That game will be at 10 a.m., but the Crabs continuing to roll tonight as they beat the Auburn Wildcats by a score of 14-5, as they are now 3-0 here in this Humboldt Invitational Tournament. And much like last night, the Crabs really put the game away ahead early. Not quite as early as yesterday, where it was essentially 10-0 after the 3rd inning, but nonetheless, they really blew the game wide open early, and basically, with 2 big innings, were able to take away any hope of a comeback by the Auburn Wildcats. The Wildcats did briefly take the lead. They led 1-0 after the 2nd inning, but going into that bottom of the 3rd, the Crabs exploded for 5 runs, then they added on 5 more in the 4th, so it was 10-1 after the 4th inning, and at that point, things seemed to be out of reach for the Auburn Wildcats. The Wildcats did have 3 runs in the 5th inning to make it 10-4. But then the Crabs would add a run, I should say, in the 6th, and then 3 in the 8th to make it 14-4 at the time. The Wildcats would add 1 more run in garbage time in the top of the 9th inning to make it 14-5 as the final score. But the Humboldt Crabs were essentially in control from the 4th inning through the rest of the game. So the Crabs improving their record. They're now 33-15. Not quite the 42-9 record that they got last year, but still a successful season nonetheless for the Humboldt Crabs. And they're hoping to end things on a high note tomorrow. And first they need to beat the Alameda Merchants to get into the final game. The Merchants are winless, but from what we saw in the West Coast Showcase here at the Arcata Ballpark about a month ago, the San Diego Waves won the tournament despite going 0-3 in the first 3 days. Then they won the semifinal round as the low seed on the Sunday game, and then were able to win the championship game to claim the West Coast Showcase tournament despite having a 2-3 record for it. And maybe the Alameda Merchants have similar thoughts going in tomorrow as well, but either way, it'll be the Merchants who got pounded by the Crabs last night, 15-0, and on top of that, the Merchants walked 15 Crabs batters last night, which really turned what seemed to be an exciting ball game into, I'll say it, a miserable time, just walking walk after walk. The Crabs pitching staff themselves walked 6 batters, so 21 walks in the matchup between the Crabs and the Merchants last night, so we're hoping for it to be a little more competitive tomorrow. Again, it's nice to see the Crabs win, but we do want the games to be competitive and make them exciting. And of course, the Alameda Merchants, though, they're a completely different team than they were at the middle of the season. The Merchants had a very talented team throughout much of the season, but a lot of them are playing in the NBC World Series. It's basically the national Summer Collegiate / Semi-Pro Championship for all these type of teams, Crabs included, Alameda Merchants obviously. The Seattle Studs, a team that the Crabs often play against. They make the trip down here once a year. They have won it the last couple of years, so a lot of talented teams. The Alameda Merchants sending a bunch of their players over there. They also had a lot of players return home to their respective schools. So really they showed up with 12 guys here at the tournament, so really things haven't been going so well because of the lack of depth, but in speaking with them, they did all they could to get players together, and they even had to reach out to other teams to give them some of their players, but they are here doing what they can, and we do appreciate them coming up, but we're hoping for a competitive game tomorrow, at least a game in which there are less than 15 walks issued or 21 between both sides. The Crabs, of course, have been walking some guys of their own and really could pitch better themselves as well, though they're 3-0, so really not too much complaining on their part, even though they could be doing a little better, to say the least. Taking a look at the numbers tonight, the Crabs walked 6 batters again tonight, so that really does need to be cut down. Aaron Herr, who does get the win, went 5 innings, and allowed no runs, or at least no earned runs. And he did allow 4 runs, but none of them were earned. Okay, there we go. 4 runs, none of them earned. Threw 101 pitches with 57 of them for strikes, so had pretty good command, but just couldn't quite consistently finish. 4 strikeouts total on the day, again, along with those 4 walks also allowed. 5 hits did Aaron Hurd. Justin Watling came in relief, pitched 4 innings, just allowed a run. Also struck out 2 and walked 2, allowing 3 base hits. So Newt Johnson coming up here as he had himself a pretty nice day at the plate. As Johnson coming in to speak with us. So how are you enjoying this tournament so far? I know the Mudcats gave you a tough game in 11 innings on Friday, but since then it's been smooth sailing for the Crabs offense, and you guys seem to be really hitting your stride. So how have you guys been feeling so far this tournament?
Yeah, the Mudcats gave us a test that first game, but we kind of turned it on these last 2 games and been rolling.
So going, he went 2 for 3 tonight and scored 2 runs. Also picking up a couple of RBIs. So how are you seeing things so well at the plate?
Just, trying to focus every pitch and not giving at bats away, I think that's really important to my approach and just swinging at good pitches.
Now, we'll be facing a Alameda Merchants team. They're a bit depleted, and they had some control issues. So when the other team's pitching staff is kind of struggling to throw strikes, what's your approach into taking advantage of that?
Well, just can't swing at bad pitches. I mean, we're not gonna take anything for granted tomorrow. We gotta come out and play our game still, and we can't overlook this team, and got to win the first one to get to the second one. So
after things didn't quite end as well as you wanted to in the West Coast Showcase about a month ago, is there a different approach you're taking to the final day of the tournament that was different than last time?
Well, I mean, we're just trying to win every game, and win every inning, and as long as we do that and play hard, and we'll end up, doing well, I think.
Guys, anything special planned as a team to kind of close out the regular season besides, of course, playing these last couple of games?
Not that I've heard of, but I'm sure we'll think of something to do, maybe tomorrow or something. So you going home immediately after the conclusion, or are you gonna hang around here for a little while? What's in your immediate future? Yeah, I'm going home Monday morning, and it's a 24-hour drive, so. Makes my 12-hour drive home on Monday not seem so bad, I guess. Yeah, I mean, split it into 2 days, but I'm looking forward to get home, and, it's been a long summer, been a great summer, but looking forward to seeing everybody. Now, over the course of the summer, what area do you think you've improved on the most as a player? I came in here, and I had to work on my hitting, and, I think over these past couple of weeks, this last weekend, I've really been trying something new, and I think I found my stride with that, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes for me in the fall season. Well, let's hope that you continue the good work going into tomorrow, as I'm sure the Crabs fans hoping for 2 wins to end this summer, and it's been a very fantastic, successful summer. 33-15 record, not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. So thank you for talking to us, and we wish you good luck tomorrow and for the rest of your collegiate career. All right, thank you. All right, that was Newt Johnson, who got the start today and, again, had himself a pretty nice day as he went 2 for 3, a couple RBIs, a couple of runs scored, as well as being walked and hit by a batter. So, anyway, thank you, Newt, and we'll take a break, a 60-second, Thalen, a 60-second break as we'll have one more segment. We'll wrap things up and get you ready for tomorrow. You're listening to Humble Crabs Baseball here on AM 1480 KGOE.
And welcome back to the Arcata Ballpark, where the Crabs win 14-5 and get themselves the top seed available for tomorrow's semifinal game at 2 p.m. They'll be facing the number 4 seed Alameda Merchants, the Auburn Wildcats, Solana Mudcats facing off at 10 a.m. The winner of each of those two games will play in the championship round at 6 p.m. For the West Coast, not the West Coast Invitational, that was the last tournament, but the Humboldt Invitational tournament title, as all 4 teams looking to come away, end their seasons on a high note. So the Crabs, if you just look at their batting line, they really, really tore the cover off the ball tonight, although it helps, again, they did receive some free passes as well. When you do walk a bit, it makes it a lot easier. 7 walks that the Crabs were able to draw tonight. Also, 4 batters were hit, so 11 free base runners. It was not too different than last night when 15 batters were walked and 2 guys were hit by a pitch, 17. So really the pitching, and the Crabs, again, 6 walks on their own as well. So the pitching from all sides around hasn't been as effective as their teams would like it to be, but they do play the game to improve, and they're looking to end everything on a high note. And at the very least, we're hoping for the games to be competitive, as we've had a lot of blowouts in this tournament, although we have had some thrillers. The tomorrow morning game, the 10 a.m. game against the Mudcats and Wildcats, that one came down to the wire on Friday, with the Wildcats coming down from behind 4, and they're able to win with 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to walk off. And the Mudcats hoping to avoid that tomorrow and hoping to get revenge and get themselves into the championship round, as the Mudcats could not finish it off last time. So taking a look at the offensive output from both the Crabs and the Auburn Wildcats, David Hamilton went 3 for 5 with 4 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Brian Pozos 0 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. James Outman 2 for 5 with 3 runs scored. Jason Newman 0 for 4 but had 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Michael Perry 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored, although he really showed himself off with the glove. Michael Perry really made a difference, making some nice defensive plays down at the hot corner. Some of the better defensive performances we've seen in quite a while here out of a third baseman. Michael Perry just doing an outstanding job manning that position. Logan Bush went 0 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Newt Johnson 2 for 3, who we just spoke to. He also had 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Mason Cirillo 0 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And Mason Thielander went 0 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Every single starter for the Crabs either had an RBI or a run scored. So really, the Crabs really distributing it well through the lineup as they were able to get out 14 runs against the Auburn Wildcats. The Wildcats, taking a look at their numbers, Sam Lee Curtis out of the leadoff spot, 1 for 5. Austin Blatnick 0 for 3 with a run scored. Taylor Field went 1 for 4. Ethan Joyce 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Jake Faulkner 0 for 3 with a run scored. Austin Spainhauer went 1 for 1. Kyle Dixon 1 for 4 with an RBI, 2 runs scored. Mike Phelan went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And Taylor Garcia went 1 for 4. When you add all that up, 5 runs, 8 hits, 5 errors for the Auburn Wildcats. Of course, the Crabs 14 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Aaron Herr picks up the win for the Crabs. He went 5 innings. They got allowed 4 runs, none of them earned, along with 4 strikeouts and 4 walks. Gave up 5 hits overall in those 5 innings. Justin Watley went 4 innings, allowed 1 run. It was earned on 3 hits, along with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And then taking a look at the pitching for the Auburn Wildcats, Tygan Jones will pick up the loss, as he gave up 10 runs. Only 4 of them were earned, however. His defense really let him down today. Allowed 5 hits, had 3 walks and 2 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings. Mike Hatfield went 3 1/3 innings. Allowed 1 run. It was unearned along with 2 walks, a strikeout, and 2 base hits allowed. And then Logan Markinson did not retire a batter and ended up giving up 3 runs, 2 of them earned, on a base hit plus a walk. And then we had a guy not on the roster, so we just identified him as our mystery man. Went an inning and did not allow any runs, along with a strikeout and a walk. So no hits allowed, however. And so the mystery man who pitched the last inning, who was number 42, wasn't on the roster, really pitched the most effectively for the Auburn Wildcats. So tomorrow we'll get his name for you. We will get his name for you tomorrow, because he does deserve due credit for pitching as well as he did in that bottom of the 8th inning. So that'll do it here for us. We'll wrap it up as the Crabs beat the Auburn Wildcats by a score of 14-5. And the Crabs will play the Alameda Merchants tomorrow at 2 p.m. The Wildcats and the Mudcats at 10 a.m. The winner of each of those 2 games will advance to the championship game at 6 p.m. I'd like to thank Phelan Hubble, who is our new board up at the Bicoastal Studios in Eureka, keeping us on the air, making us sound good. So thank you, Phelan. So I'd like to thank him and the people at Bicoastal. I'd like to thank everyone with all 4 teams, the Merchants, the Mudcats, the Wildcats, and the Crabs, for providing the great information again to have us be accurate on the air. And speaking for Ho Kokum and Benjamin Schaefer, this is Kevin Wyatt saying so long from the Arcata Ballpark, where the Crabs win 14-5 in advance to the number 1 seed in the semifinal tomorrow at 2 against the Alameda Merchants, with a chance to play themselves in to the final round and possibly have an undefeated tournament. So we'll be back at 2 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be on the air around 1:50 or so. And don't forget, the gates for the day tomorrow open at 9. There's 3 games for you, the 2 semifinals and the championship game. So if you just want to be outside, watch baseball all day, there's no better place to be than the Arcata Ballpark. And the gates open beginning at 9 a.m. So come on, camp yourself out of the Arcata Ballpark and spend a nice Sunday watching some baseball. I mean, we have seen a lot of walks, and has at times been a little long, but many of these teams do save their best pitchers for the final day, so we expect to see much more competitive games and a lot tighter contests tomorrow, again, as a lot of these teams do save their guys for the final day of the tournament. So we do expect to see the best of what each team has to offer. So come on out, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll be on the air on KGOE at 1:50. All 3 games will be streamed online on humblecrabs.com/watch, but any game involving the Crabs will also be heard on AM 1480 KGOE beginning at 1:50. If the Crabs do advance, they will also be on the radio on 1480 AM at 6 p.m. If they do not advance and the championship game involves teams other than the Crabs, then it will just be online at humblecrabs.com/watch. So this is Kevin Wyatt. And until next time, have a very pleasant good evening, everybody.